What comes on the TV at that moment, in the serious moment with all the kids, was a naked woman on her back doing the deed. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Youth Group Chronicles. Joining me here on the show, I have Isaiah Smallwood back again.
Back again.
Yeah, man, this is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Are there any stories that have stuck out to you in the past?
I'll definitely say either the Texas...
the Texas
yeah.
blank massacre.
Blank massacre. Or there was one, it's like the wildest one on TikTok.
Oh, the car keys one?
Yeah, bro.
Yes. Yeah, give up his car keys or something.
The burn the idols night. I still don't understand. You know, it's a good thought.
Yes.
But just wasn't executed the right way and ended up paying. So yeah, that one definitely stuck out.
So the show has started to pick up, which is really cool.
Yeah,
and a lot of people are emailing in their stories now. So if you're listening to this, obviously we're looking for the crazy, wild, some hilarious, maybe a fail, anything that happened with whether you are a leader in youth ministry, a pastor, or maybe you just go to the youth group and you're a kid. If you have something crazy that you want to share on the show, we would love to have you send it in. So if you send it into ygchronicles@gmail.com, we'd love to get you featured on the show. And that's what we're going to read here are some of our email submissions. So the first one is from Laura M. Laura said, our youth pastor was on vacation one Wednesday night, so he invited a young intern from several years earlier to come do the message. So here's some background information. This past youth intern was either engaged to or already married to the daughter of one of our longtime church members. He had met her when he was an intern and she was in high school. So I'm guessing you could start to see like the issue with this. And during the message, he breaks down and at least for 30 minutes, if not longer, talks about how awful his in-laws are and how they don't like him or their relationship, and how he wishes they would just accept him. It was so awkward, and I don't know if he expected a bunch of middle school and high schoolers to just come lay hands and pray for him and be the free therapists or what. I never said anything to my parents, but I'm assuming it was passed along because I do know he was never invited back to, quote, preach again. You know how awkward that must have been? Like, what do you do?
It's okay. It's okay to go to therapy. If it's necessary, go.
But you're not going to get therapy with the youth kids. Yeah. John W. said, in high school, I was a junior leader for the upper elementary camp. We had to go make sure that the creek was ready for a couple of baptisms. And a leader who was an adult and I went out to the creek and saw a massive snapping turtle. And his plan was to shoot it. Unfortunately, the turtle decided to hide under a fallen tree, so I was tasked with spooking it out of the water to the shore where he was going to kill it. Now, I am in the water chest deep at this point, and this thing starts swimming at me.
Oh,
a massive snapping turtle. The leader then unloads on this turtle, which is feet from me. I don't know what was worse, him killing it within arm's reach of me or having to carry it out of the creek while he laughs. Thank the Lord that this man had a military history and can shoot a fly from 100 yards. Otherwise, I could have been eaten or shot. Both are just absolutely unpleasant outcomes.
Was it just like, whose pond was it?
It says that, well, they were at camp and they had to go get the creek ready for baptisms.
Oh, okay, but shooting it.
That guy was so
what is
excited.
Wrong with this?
You like, know, he came out there with his gun, hoping there would be something out.
I'm so ready, y'all.
I'm so ready.
Grab it, get it, grab it.
John W. also said, we had this one youth minister and his wife who were just too open about their personal life. And they started out the spiritual sex ed in front of all of the youth group and they just stated blanketly, we love sex, especially with each other. And as the class progressed, they would use various clips from TV shows and cartoons to pull lessons from. And weirdly enough, ear sex from Family Guy is one of my more memorable moments because he said, if anyone is stupid enough to try that, they shouldn't have kids. And that's the end. Oh my goodness. No comment?
No.
Let's not be too open, guys. Brian W. said, we were doing our daily debrief with all our students while on a youth group trip. We were in the conference room of the hotel that we were staying the night in, and it was really like a tight fit. And as we were having this like debrief with all the kids about the best part of their day and, you know, what's been going at camp, one of the kids was leaning against the wall where a TV was, and he accidentally turned it on with like his elbow or something. And of course, HBO turns on. What comes on the TV at that moment, in the serious moment with all the kids, was a naked woman on her back doing the deed. The boy starts freaking out because he was the one that turned it on. He's trying to find the power button, but it's one of those that's just built into the design of the TV. And he just starts slapping the TV, like trying to get this thing to turn off. Everyone is just staring, like all the youth group is staring at the TV just in horror. After seeing what's on the TV, one of the female students was just like, boobies. And then finally the TV turned off. My wife and I really tried to enjoy the rest of camp in case those were our last days with the students, but it was all good and thankfully we kept our jobs.
One question. That's all you wanted to say? That's the only word that came to your mind at that moment.
It was one of the girl students.
Boobies. Like,
I don't know. At least have the kids turn away. That's what I would be thinking. Oh, okay, don't look. We'll get it off. We'll hit it with a sledgehammer.
I mean, boobies. Like, what?
It's so there's this thing that it's like a personality thing, like a personality test. And if you have a certain personality, a lot of times in a stressful situation, you'll try to be funny. Like that's what you'll default to.
So that's
is trying to make a joke.
That's what she
in light of a situation. And I bet that's what she did, just like trying to like clear the air while everyone just is panicking. I bet that's what happened.
But still, to be the only one speaking and the word that you
because he said it was dead silent beside the TV. And then all of a sudden, that kid just blurts that out.
That's great. Were they in like a bedroom or like a conference room?
I bet they were all cramped. It says we were in the conference room of the hotel we were staying in. Why was HBO on in the conference room?
Why was HBO on in the conference room? And what time of night were they doing this?
I bet it was our daily debrief. So I bet probably 10 or 11 p.m.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Understood.
Yeah. Because I've been on trips where they do that. It's just like, yo, it's like the highlight of your day.
That's crazy to me.
Dude, way to ruin the mood too.
Yeah, most definitely. Hey guys, we're just gonna have a serious time in Jesus right now. No distractions. Please turn your cell phones off. Bring them up here. There's a basket. Hey, turn the TV on. Like, all right, guys. All right.
That's funny, dude.
That's nothing but Satan. Nothing but Satan.
So these are some youth ministry fails now. Ruth A. said, my biggest youth ministry fail was when there was about 20 of us in a circle and we were about to start an activity. I could vaguely hear a high school girl it was her first time there, talking about Spartagus and Sheriff. And I said something like, oh, are these your dogs? And the circle got really quiet before one of the youth leaned over and went, no, Ruth, those are her brothers. I almost cried apologizing to her and her mom. I probably would have made the same mistake. I would have made the same mistake. I'm not going to lie.
My name's Sheriff.
And Spartagus.
This is my daughter Lily. These are my sons. Sheriff Spartacus.
What I want to know is, it was the kids' first time, and all the kids already knew that those were her brothers. I wonder if they just like caught on to that.
No, they must have known him from like high school or something.
Oh, maybe they. Yeah, they probably they probably knew the kids. You're right.
Spartacus and Sheriff.
Caitlin S. said, my biggest youth ministry fail was when we had just gotten hired at a church as youth pastors. After worship, we decided to take communion, and little did we know the communion cups were 4 months expired. We got some interesting calls from our pastors that night. I have a couple questions about this. Our church uses like the Kool-Aid cups and they're disgusting. So does that mean mold was growing in them, or was this grape juice that fermented because it was 4 months expired? You think that's what it was? Explains the calls.
You know what fermented grape juice is, right?
Can you say it on a podcast like this?
No.
Oh, man.
Oh, man. Well, you know what Jesus turned water into?
I bet that's what it was. Yeah,
most definitely.
All the kids are stumbling around after youth group. No one knows why. Read the expiration date. Can stuff ferment in 4 months? I don't know. I don't know enough about it. Is that like a thing?
Me neither. I'm just making jokes.
You know what? We're gonna assume that it was like full-on alcohol at this point.
Yeah.
Let's just blow this out of proportion.
Shots.
Yeah. These kids were so drunk. They were so drunk. That's how it went.
They probably had like a game. How many can you drink?
Oh, probably. It was extra communion. So, yeah, this is what happens when you guys don't fill in the rest of the story. Yeah. Like, we have to do it. We'll just go worst case scenario.
Worst case scenario.
That's funny, though. Spencer S. said, my biggest youth ministry fail was during COVID. My lead pastor wanted us to make shirts, or he wanted me to make shirts for the teens when they came back to our in-person services so they could serve on a sanitation team. I designed these shirts with a Germ-X bottle and just called it Squirt Squad. And we almost went to print before one of my leaders pointed out the mistake. And, to this day, some of my students are still demanding their t-shirts. How did he not see that?
Could you say the name one more time?
The sanitation team was going to be called the Squirt Squad. Or are you saying the name of the person?
You've done your deed. The Squirt Squad.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I don't know how that one got through
the senior pastor was like,
pre-production.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
You have the liberty to name the shirts, bro.
I stayed up all night for this. Introducing the Squirt Squad. Hold your applause. Hold your applause, guys.
If we had our heads out of the gutter, it fits, right?
Unless you're like cleaning windows. Still, like sanitation. Well, I don't really.
It was after COVID, and you know how they had to spray everything?
Oh, okay.
Yes. You know how,
yeah.
Some people did.
Can't
say I did.
We can't say this. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. I'm going to stop there.
Right. You should probably stop. Oh, we all made it through, guys.
We're here.
Yeah.
Jeremy R. said, one time I lost a blind youth group student in the DC subway system. And he clarifies, I did not permanently lose them. So Isaiah is obviously co-hosting this. He just pushed the mic away and said he's not allowed to say anything right now because anything that comes out will not be nice. But the good news is he didn't lose him permanently. But that would be scary. To lose a kid who can't see in the subway system, that's not good. Jeremy, way to go finding him, though. Bro, you got to take your mic back, bro. You can't do this. You're going to make me laugh.
I'm so glad he was found. That's what I'll say about this situation. Good job, Jeremy. You know what? Every episode from here on out that I'm on, you'll get a thumbs up of the day. Jeremy,
thumbs up.
Thumbs up, guy. Good guy. What a guy.
Amanda B said, my biggest youth ministry fail was when I asked my students if they needed help sleeping on the missions trip because they were homesick. So I said, here, have some of my melatonin, which is sold right next to the vitamins and cough drops. And unfortunately, the parents were beside themselves because I had distributed drugs while on this mission trip. Bro, parents need to soften up a little bit.
But I do understand that though.
Is it bad? I thought it was.
No, but I guess for me, it would be more of the kids probably didn't know what it is. So the parents were probably just told that they received, some
Yeah, our youth leader just gave us some pills. Like, they helped us sleep.
That's
That's probably what the conversation was like.
Exactly.
So I get it. Yeah,
so like,
I get it.
I guess I understand the frustration.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and then what I would have done was first. I understand that they were on a mission trip and stuff like that, but I would have gotten the okay from the parents for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, probably a smart idea. If you're listening to this, again, the cool thing about this show, and I've had people tell me this is, this is our, this is where we do our research for youth group and what not to do. That way, if you're ever in that situation, maybe just a text
message or like a phone call, unless you're like in like Haiti or something like that, and you can't get a hold of the parents.
That's true.
But
then just give the kids the pills. Who cares, right?
Yes. Just do it. Nike.
Corey B said, one time I filled the church baptism tank with milk and cereal, and then we had an eating challenge out of it during youth group. That is disgusting.
I am beside myself.
That is so
beyond
gross.
Me.
Dude, they're out there shoveling cereal in their mouths out of a trough.
While in it.
Out of a trough. I don't know if they were in it. They probably leaned over the edge. But
you know what? That makes more sense than what I was thinking.
My guy over here thinks there's like 10 kids swimming in a baptism tank of milk eating the cereal.
Yo, I was mad for a moment. I was truly upset. Honestly, I was so mad, bro.
I'm over here thinking like it's a wholesome game where they just lean over the side, which is probably what happened, which is still absolutely disgusting. That makes me want to vomit.
He said, wait. Y'all, I really got irate for a moment. I really did.
You really thought the kids were swimming in the baptism tank?
Yeah. I was like, why? In what world?
Hopefully none, bro.
That is a great statement by Christopher Morgan 6.
Always get parents' permission unless there's a waiver giving the leader permission for medical treatment. Yeah, that's a wise move.
Absolutely.
A couple more here. Billy P said, my biggest youth ministry fail was the year of the DooDoo pit. Now, my first year in my current ministry, I drove the kids to church camp. When parking the van out in the field, I didn't notice that I had run over and cracked a small white plumbing cap barely sticking up from out of the ground. And that cap is right next to the Gaga Ball pit. Oh, man. Now, it had rained some the next day, so everything got good and muddy. And later, when everything was drying up, we noticed this area next to the Gaga Ball pit that just stayed muddy. And the butterflies were loving it for some reason. Now, the following day, a counselor inspected closer and thought, is that toilet paper?
No.
And that's when we discovered the cracked plumbing cap. Now, we sent someone into the nearest cabin to flush the toilet, and sure enough, raw sewage came oozing out of that pipe, spilling into this eternal puddle right next to the Gaga Ball pit that the kids have been playing in every single day. And thankfully, they weren't like playing the game in this pit, but they were going over into that mud, going to get the ball, stomping through it, and no one ever knew. The real spectacle for the kids was watching the groundskeeper come out in a makeshift hazmat suit and sprinkling bleach and disinfectant all over that area. Dude, can you imagine knowing that you'd been stepping in that all week, only to find out what it was later?
I have questions. Your nose.
That's true. How did you not smell that?
Like, your nose.
It's a really good point.
It wasn't even a question. It was more of a statement. But like, the question was the question mark after your nose.
Mm-hmm.
This episode, man.
It's something, bro.
This episode is something.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the kids just couldn't smell. I don't understand what was going on there.
It's not even just the kids.
And the adults. Maybe the kids, you know how camp kids smell though, dude.
I mean,
it smells like.
No, you're right.
It gets raunchy at camp.
I ain't gonna lie.
These kids don't shower and they bathe themselves in Axe body spray. Like, I'm sure that had to mask some of the smell of this raw sewage.
I still don't understand how not one person
noticed.
You know, Never mind. Never mind. It's church camp.
It's church camp. So I'm reading these comments, and Christopher Morgan said that smell cannot be masked.
No, you can't. I even thought like the rain probably, but then when the heat came and the sun came out
and just baked it,
and it's just baking, you don't smell DooDoo. Like you don't smell the poop. You don't. The fecal matter.
Maybe they did and just didn't ask questions.
And then your shoes, bro. You're in that. Oh my gosh.
What a way to end camp and explain
Is that toilet paper? Come on, fam.
So the worst part, I didn't get to this yet, but they found out it was coming from the girls' cabin. The boys never let them live it down.
And this has been an episode
of Youth Group Chronicles. If you have stories you want to send in, send them to ygchronicles@gmail.com.
Oh,
we would love to feature them on this show.
Owen said one time at camp I had to pick up a student and put him in the shower because he refused to take one. It had been 4 days.
You got to do what you got to do.
You honestly, really do.
Yep.
You really do.
I've seen at camp.
Yeah.
I have witnessed this. They lined up their kids because they wouldn't shower. They lined them all up.
Hosed them.
And hosed them with Axe body spray.
Great job.
Yep.
Great job.
Which doesn't help because that stuff.
Oh, you said Axe body spray?
Yeah.
I would have just put water on them.
No, they didn't do that. Would have made it worse. They were just like, you know what? Let's just mask this with Axe body spray. And they just went down the line and sprayed every kid with.
No, I would have asked their parents to come get them because you're not. No, not my camp.
Not at camp, huh?
Not my camp. One day I'm going to be a camp counselor. And like not just a counselor, but I'm going to be the head person over at camp. And one of the rules that I will make is that everyone is expected to shower nightly.
Good rule. That
Honestly.
was the rule at our camp too, but it never happened. So you have some fun enforcing that.
Listen, bro. Y'all ever seen the meme where it's just like, I ain't get no sleep because of y'all. Y'all ain't gonna get no sleep because that's exactly what I do. If this camp smells tonight, if I go through any of these and if there's women, then I'll send my wife. She'll go through, and if she smells something, wake them up. Wake them up. Ain't nobody getting no sleep. Y'all ain't sleeping until you clean.
Okay, I have to add this. Like not the directors, but like the program directors of the camp had their like room, not their room, but like the area they stayed was above this boy's bunk room.
Oh, God.
And there's a vent that goes up. And she said all week, every year, all they smell is just Axe body spray pouring through this vent. And that's all, like every day she's like, yeah, it just smells like Axe in our, because it just comes just right up through the vent. Yeah, absolutely nasty. All right. Thank you for listening to this podcast. Appreciate all of you. It's growing pretty wild at this point.
It's amazing.
And excited to see, just hear like all the crazy stuff. And obviously some are more serious, some are like inappropriate. And the thing is like, one, you have to make light of this stuff. Yeah. And two, like people are people and things happen. This is the stuff that happens at Youth Group. Right. And I hope that people realize like, wow, maybe we aren't the crazy ones and get a good laugh out of this.
No church is perfect. That's only Jesus.
Yes, absolutely. I mean? And I hope people realize that.
It's all good.
Yeah.
It's all good.
So if you have stories that you would like to send, we would love to hear them. Email them to us at ygchronicles@gmail.com.
You got to put the email right here.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
YG Chronicles.
And then check out our videos on TikTok. We're just chopping up like the highlights of this show and posting it. You get to see all the crazy faces Isaiah makes. You're famous for those faces, bro.
Listen, man. This face is a face.
Yes.
It's definitely a face. And I love it.
And then last thing is definitely check out Instagram as well if you're not on TikTok. We'd love to have you there. Youth Group Chronicles, and see you all next week.